welcome to Vacation Station, hosted by Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazines.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to Big Blend Radio's Vacation Station Travel Writer Show with the International Food, Wine, and Travel Writers Association. We call them IFWTWA. It's far easier to say, and I encourage you to go check out their website, especially if you're in the world of tourism and travel writing, photography, blogging. Go to IFWTWA.org. And today we're going on a Philly adventure. We're going to Philadelphia with food, wine, and travel writer Mary Farah. And I encourage you to follow her adventures. Go to her website, alongcomesmaryblog.com, and she's also started off her series of articles from her trip to Philadelphia. So welcome back, Mary. How are you?
Hey, Lisa. It's so good to talk to you. I'm good. Really excited to talk about Philly.
I know. I'm glad we're doing this, but I know that you were actually on your way to Delaware and coastal Delaware, and we were going to talk about that. And they had a little bit of stormy weather. So you're going to go back there, right? So we can still cover this next year.
I am, yes. They were dealing with a really bad tropical storm, and there was no way that we could make that happen. So instead, coastal Delaware's going to be hosting me next September. So I'm really excited to head back to the Philly side and eastern side, and I'll be there next year. So yeah, we can follow up about that for sure.
Yeah, I love coastal Delaware, and it's a beautiful region, and that whole, I think they call it Delmarva, that whole region that Nancy and I have, circled around a little bit. Especially we were there the spring, summer, and we've been there also a couple years ago, and so much history. The food, if you love seafood, this is a place. They do have vineyards out there. And it's just absolutely like when you think that quintessential Delmarva, it is like that. It is gorgeous and a lot of nature. And so I'm excited for you to go there. And I'm glad that you went to Philly too, because we've driven through but never had the opportunity. Nancy and I travel full time across this country, but never had the time to really go to Philadelphia and talk about a city of history. That's like huge, right? But, from what I have learned, Philadelphia is like a culturally diverse mecca. So food has got to be like insanely cool there.
It was. Because as you know, and I've talked about before on the show, I'm gluten-free. So whenever I'm in a new area, that's always my number one hope, that it'll be very gluten-free conscious and have a variety of food. Philadelphia was probably some of the best I've come across, especially their Chinatown. They have one of the oldest in the nation, along with New York, San Fran, and Boston. And the amount of Chinese food that was available to me, especially for my evening at Imai restaurant, it was absolutely incredible. The owner there, Dan So, he himself is gluten-free, so it's really important to him to bring those authentic Chinese recipes to absolutely everyone, whether or not you're following a gluten-free diet. So to be able to try spicy Kung Pao chicken, honey walnut shrimp, and feel more like when I was a kid before I was dealing with the gluten allergy, and have such an array of great food. It was incredible. That was some of the best Chinese food I've ever had.
That's amazing. To hear that, I think things are getting better, but I love that you're able to taste, different cultural flavors too. And I do want to tell everyone you've got a great article about you have a gluten-free guide basically to Philly
I
on your site.
It just came out.
Awesome. And we'll link to it in the show notes, everyone. You'll be able to link right over to see it. But apparently cocktails are gluten-free too, because you've got some fabulous looking cocktails.
They were. Oh, yes, over at the Old Bar. Like you mentioned, the landmarks and historical history and everything in Philly is everywhere you turn. It's an old building, or one of the first buildings in the nation, and that was absolutely incredible. I got to meet up with the Philadelphia Visitors Bureau there at the Old Bar and have an amazing happy hour. And here again, Our server was so knowledgeable about gluten-free. Basically all of the happy hour appetizers were even gluten-free. They have a dedicated fryer for French fries. They had their buffalo cauliflower bites. And of course, we had to pair that with some good-looking cocktails. And I asked the server about what would be good for a tequila girl. And because I love my tequila, and the siesta drink. Let's just say I didn't stop at one. It was so good. Yes, everything was so good there. So for anyone going there looking to really feel immersed in the old city history, definitely check out the Old Bar. It was so much fun in there.
I want to go to the Old Bar. Just what a cool name too. It's just like, hey, let's go to the Old Bar. Like, it's fun. It just kind of feels like, oh, we should have been there long. I feel like we have to catch up on our cocktail time. Like we're late. Get in there, start having two. But I love tequila too. That's another thing that you and I share. Tequila. I'm a tequila girl too. In fact, it's been way too long. So this is kind of cruel of you to bring this up, I have to say, on the show.
Lisa, I think you better head to the Old Bar for that siesta.
I think we need to go to Philly. I'm excited about this. As a city, and everyone, the city, the website is visitphilly.com. Is it an easy city to navigate as someone who, it's a big city, right? Very historic, like you're saying, but is it easy to navigate if you, maybe fly in, or if you drive in? What do you think ease of getting around?
It was incredible. I will say, if you're not from Philly or the area, personally for me, I did not like the idea of driving it because the city is very busy and had New York City vibes for me. But the ease of getting around with Uber and on foot was really easy for me. I didn't have time to utilize it, but they looked like they had a great subway underground train system.
Oh.
Had I had a little bit more time in town, I was going to start using that as well. But it was so simple for me from my hotel to easily navigate the streets. And a lot of them are one way, which was also oddly helpful for me, just to know which ways I was going, or to remember, that's a north-south street. That's not where I need to go. I was really surprised at the ease of me recognizing and knowing where places were within the few days I was there. Really easy to walk around on foot. And then, of course, Uber or ride shares are everywhere. So my personal recommendation would be to utilize that and walking on foot and the subway.
Did you basically able to just kind of walk outside your hotel? Because when I was looking at where you were staying, you were in Old Town, and that's where I want to go. You were at the historic Independence Park Hotel. Now that kind of goes with the Old Bar. Now I'm feeling like I really need to go.
It's only 3 minutes. It's a 3-minute walk to the Old Bar from there.
I'm liking that. So you can just pretty much walk out and go enjoy the city right from there.
Definitely. When I walked out my door, directly across the street from me was the incredible Museum of the American Revolution. Highly recommend going there. Ooh. They have an exhibit through end of the year about the Black founders of Philadelphia that left me in awe. And then around the corner was the Betsy Ross House. The Liberty Bell was a 10-minute walk. Yeah, it's a really, really central hotel to get around. And if you do have a vehicle on you, they include parking that's around the corner at a gated, secured parking lot. So here again, if you do have a car on you, super easy to just park it over there. The restaurants, the bars, everything you need was really central to the Independence Park Hotel.
Now, I was seeing that you use City Pass. We all love City Pass, and City Pass is cool because it makes it so cost effective to go. Like it's like a bundle of tickets, right? So tell us about the process of that. I know that they're also a member of IFWTWA, and they've been on shows and will be on more too. So tell us about actually using it.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that's actually how I first learned about City Pass, through my membership with IFWTWA. And I was able to secure one for my weekend in Philly. And like I said, the American Revolution Museum, that was included. The incredible, especially for art enthusiasts, the Barnes Foundation, that was on it. Had I had more time, there's an aquarium nearby in New Jersey that's a part of it. They really make it easy, especially the Philly City Pass, that you could do 3, 4, or 5 attractions, which I thought's really great depending on the time frame that you're in town. You're not going to be locked in to say if you only have time for 3, you can only buy one for a 5 pass. So that was something I really love, how flexible it was. But yeah, that was really great too. Oh, and I also went to the Academy of Natural Science Museum through Drexel University. That was part of the City Pass. Yeah, that was really cool to see the T-Rex skeletons and get up close and personal with the dioramas. They have over 3 dozen. So definitely consider the City Pass if you're headed to Philly.
That is cool. Anything with the, now you're talking Nancy's language. She is into dinosaurs. Big time.
Oh, Dinosaur Hall was really cool there.
It's called a dinosaur hall? Oh my.
That's what they call it. Yep. And they have fossils. They actually also, too, they had the archaeologists there working with a little placard that you could see they were working on new bones and fossils they've just gotten from Montana.
What?
And they were there. Yeah, they were there studying them right in front of me.
Nancy's already yelling. She's around the corner with dogs. Otherwise she'd be on the show, and she's highly jealous. Well, I love, jealousy in tourism is not a bad thing, because it just means you need to get off your butt and go. And,
exactly.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's, you can get jealous, but then you just add it to the list and keep going.
Yep.
So lots of history, lots of science, museums, art too. That's the one thing. It seems that you got to see some amazing art, like from the masters, like Renoir, Cezanne, Matisse, Van Gogh. Was it Picasso? Like, dude.
Yeah.
Not
I know.
in
Philadelphia, I wouldn't, I never would have thought when I noticed on the City Pass for Philly, it said Barnes Foundation. I was like, oh, okay, an art museum. I love art. I'll check it out. I'm a huge Cezanne fan. So to just be seeing exhibit after exhibit, seeing all this incredible work by him and Picasso, Van Gogh. And then something else that I thought was really interesting, I haven't experienced this before with a museum, they don't have placards next to each work of art. Instead, they have reference books. They have several of them that you pick up from a display, and you use that as your guide for each room, which I thought really helped me immerse more in what I was looking at rather than squinting at a little placard, figuring out what it was. It really encouraged me to look at the art, and then I would be there like, I think that's a Cezanne. Whoever it is, I love it, but I'm going to go grab the book and look now and then match it up. It was almost like a fun little scavenger hunt to test my knowledge of artists.
You're a geek. You're an art geek now. See, I love that.
Very, very much.
Now, I know that you're like Nancy and I. We like really funky places. We like gardens and things like that. And so Magic Gardens, I am dying to hear about this because I saw some of your photos and I'm like, I need to go. And that's got art and it's got a lot of bottles. So when you're done with, Nancy and I used to use our champagne bottles from our old Champagne Sunday show for borders in our garden, right?
Oh, this would be perfect for the Magic Gardens would love you.
Well, I'm loving them. So tell us about why we all need to go to the Magic Gardens. Just even the name makes me want to go.
Right. It is in a really urban part of the city. And when my driver pulled me up here, it is just you're bombarded with Mexican sculptures, bottles, mosaics. Everything is just, as soon as you are at the entrance out front, you are just struck with what the heck am I looking at? It's called the Magic Gardens, and it's a nonprofit art gallery that a gentleman born and raised in Philly started named Isaiah Zagar and his wife. They were the masterminds behind it. And at the time, like I said, it's a very urban part of the city. At the time, it was a little bit down on its luck, needed some love. So they took it upon themselves to start this incredible art project of just everything Isaiah's created over the years. He just started taking, kind of like you, Lisa, with the champagne bottles. He just started taking everything and anything that they've collected from their travels. They love going to Mexico, so they have a ton of really unique sculptures and works of art from Mexico. And here again, another type of little scavenger hunt. When the docent told me, make sure to notice as you're looking around at all this, some of it was even Picasso.
Seriously?
You just are, yeah. In between everything he's created and made and what he's collected, some of it could easily be works of art from Picasso and other famous Spanish and Mexican artists. And it's a space made up of 2 indoor galleries and a bi-level outdoor sculpture garden. The indoor part was great. That's where they have temporary exhibits, so I got to see some really cool work that's currently on display from Mexican artists inside, but the outside sculpture garden, it felt like Alice in Wonderland. You really feel like you're just going down a rabbit hole of this really unique, just at times bizarre even. Just he's really made, some of it is beautiful works of art. Some of it looks like he probably scoured it out of the trash. It's just anything goes at the Magic Gardens.
I love that. I wonder if they had any work from Diego Rivera. I know he was mostly a muralist, and Jose Orozco from Mexico in there. I wonder.
It would not surprise me. Someone who really knows. You said I'm an art geek, but I don't know Mexican and Spanish artists too well. So that would be really cool for someone educated well in that regard to go and do a little scavenger hunt to figure out or recognize.
Well, Frida Kahlo was married to Diego Rivera, and
of course. Okay, I love Frida.
Yeah, and then so I know you know the Southwest artist Ted DeGrazia from Tucson. And
yes, I love him.
He Jose Orozco and Diego Rivera kind of mentored him a little bit, and they did murals together. And DeGrazia went there. They actually sponsored a show for him in Mexico City. So there's this whole, and so that's my way of learning. That's I'm going the other way around to learn. But Mexico art is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's so colorful and goes to extremes, you know. It's and not no fear, you know. And I think Picasso gets like that too.
That's what I was going to say. The vibrancy is what I love. Yes.
Cool. Okay. See, and especially if it was raining, go to a place like this, you know. Go to the color places when it's raining, you know, or go hang out with dinosaurs.
Because they're shiny, because they're so sparkly and shiny. And I will say, too, don't be afraid of some rain in Philly because everything was really quiet. It was a really great time to tour because getting back to not going to Delaware because of the rain, we did have some pretty heavy rain in Philly, but it just made it more like my own little private tour because a lot of the spots I visited were a lot more quiet because of the weather.
Yeah. So it was the same storm. So you went from you were doing it all. I see what was going on. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. We got the rain too. We were on the East Coast too. And we got that rain and weather as well. And, it's like, the plants need water. So that's good, you know. So one thing I did want to really touch on is that you went on a trolley tour, and Nancy and I have become big fans of trolley tours because they're just like an entertaining way to learn history and to get your bearings. I almost feel like whenever you go to a city, the first thing you should do is a trolley tour just to get a view of where you are. Like especially if they go downtown and, you know, that kind of, you just kind of get it, your bearings. So was it that way for when you went on the Founding Footsteps trolley tour?
It was. I kept thinking, I wish the Big Blend gals were with me for the Founding Footsteps tour. I did not know what to expect going in because originally the plan was for me to do, they also have walking tours. And that was the
Cool.
original plan I had with Founding Footsteps. But Alice, because of the rain, they encouraged me to go ahead and take the trolley tour. I was texting with the owner, and I was like, sure, sounds cool, I'll be there. So I really went in not knowing at all what I was getting myself into. I heard tour, so I'm thinking it's probably going to be stiff, a little bit stiff, learn the history. But this was the funnest trolley tour I have ever been on. They encourage you to bring your own booze. The
No
ladies
way.
next to me had a cooler full of probably tequila, beer. Everyone was
What?
drinking, having a ball. Yeah, they encourage you to drink on this tour. And our tour guide, Warren, he should be on Broadway or on TV or something with a very big audience, because his unstoppable energy was insane. He made incredible jokes. He improvises it for each tour. So, and there was an engagement. It was kind of like a bachelorette-esque tour, because a couple had gotten engaged, so he was making jokes there. And you guys will love this, because given the history and the tour we got of Old City, anytime we heard the name of Ben Franklin, we had to take a drink, and it was a lot.
Oh my gosh. And that's why I want to go to Philly. I have a weird thing about Ben Franklin's history. I'm in because he was such a diplomat, but he was a naughty boy and smart, inventive.
Agree. Yep.
I mean, his history is he is, I think, one of the most colorful characters we have of when we came over and played Colony. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the States, he saved our butts in a lot of things over the years.
It was really cool. Yeah, because, you would be perfect for Warren's tour then, because he wasn't afraid to make inappropriate jokes, but also that's what I found so great and fascinating with Warren and this trolley tour, that he's able to make so many jokes and poke fun at a lot of the things we're looking at, but still keeping it educational. I mean, who knows, we were all probably 3 sheets to the wind anyhow, yet he still is able to give us knowledge and really give us a cool, thorough tour of Philadelphia. We started out in Old Town. We all bus up at the Betsy Ross house, so we start right in to learning about the founding people and the history there. Then we ended up over at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, which is most famous for Rocky and the stairs. So we all were able... Yep. So, of course, Warren was playing Eye of the Tiger on the ride over, had us all singing along. We got to run up the stairs. That was something I was really happy about with the trolley tour. They make a lot of 10-minute stops, so you're not just trying really quick to grab a photo of something from the trolley. You're able to get off and take pictures of a lot of cool landmarks, like the Love statue, the Rocky statue, the stairs really cool. that Rocky... Yeah, isn't it? And then it was fun, too. We even got a 10-minute Whole Foods break for restroom, a.k.a. if we want to buy more booze, we could do that, too.
Oh, my gosh. That's hysterical, a Whole Foods stop, too. I mean,
yes,
seriously.
A Whole Foods stop, yeah. And first under the guise of if we need a potty break, but then he's like, we're really all here because he showed us where the alcohol department was.
Oh, my God, that's hysterical. Well, I think most tours have to be fun like that, and did you actually do the Rocky Steps?
My husband's very upset at me because I was on my own, and I took a picture on the Rocky Steps, but I didn't have anyone close to me trying to root me on to do it. So no, I didn't do all the steps. I went up a few and got some fun pictures, but no, look, it's the type of thing looking back I should have. So it's a reason to go back to really do all those stairs.
Look at yourself digging yourself out of that. How Look at you really built that well. She's a good blogger and a writer. Can you tell? You already had that answer. I already know what I'm going to say, and this is how I'm going to get my excuse out there. And well done. That was perfectly crafted.
Oh, thank you. We'd all been drinking too, Lisa, so I didn't want to harm myself either.
Oh, that's a good. Man, she's going. You got a third one? Third experience. Oh, but wait, you
Really
had to
good.
take the photo. You had to take the photo.
Oh, I did. I did take the photo on the stairs, and I have the photo of me pumping my arms up at the Rocky statue.
Okay, so you're
I'm
excused.
redeemed.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was quite brilliant though, but I don't know if I'd want to run up any
Oh,
kind of steps because the fact is I will
they
fall
were
down.
huge. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were huge, especially if you've been drinking. They're huge. There's so many of those stairs.
but does that make you want to go back and watch the movie again just to see it
It
and know
does.
where you were?
It does. That was something else I wanted to mention. There's so much living in LA. You always think that we're the movie capital of the world. But when I was rolling my luggage to my terminal at the airport, they have this really cool movie poster gallery of every movie that's been filmed or had a moment in Philadelphia. It was huge. There was so much filmed over there.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you got to think about Rocky and yeah, wow, we've got to think about
It
that,
was just
especially with all the
it was
history
just
and
on
all
and
of that
on.
too.
Even ones I wouldn't have thought. It just went on and on. I was granted I was racing a little bit to my terminal. Otherwise, I would have taken a proper video because it was insane how many movies and movie posters were highlighting what's been filmed over there.
Wow, wow, that's cool to know. That's a nice connection too. For you being back in LA. One thing I want to touch on before you go is talk about where you were staying at the Independence Park Hotel. We were talking about, okay, it's really cool the proximity it is to all the attractions and ease to get around. But what were the rooms like? And from what I'm seeing like Philadelphia is kicking butt in the world of hotels.
They are. It's insane because my room was beautiful. I love that it was cozy. Like at first look, it's small, but they were able to fit my cozy bed and a little office desk and couch. So for given how intimate the rooms look and the building looks from the outside, it was really ample for me on the inside. And you look out your window, I got to see the museum. And my first thought when I checked in was, oh, this is downtown Philly. Is it going to be loud? It was so quiet. It was really secure in there and did not feel like you're in the middle of a loud city or somewhere that would probably be a little noisy at night. But yeah, and then the inside, they have a beautiful, after the lobby, you can go downstairs to where they have a full breakfast every morning and just a lot of really old vibes in there. They've really kept it up well and made it desirable and somewhere you'd want to stay despite thinking, oh, it's an old building, it might have this problem or that issue or something. But then the other hotels in town, there's 6 of Philadelphia's hotels made this year's Condé Nast Travelers Readers' Choice Awards list with a Mid-Atlantic category. So
6.
they are, like you said, really kicking butt with the good hotels. Over half of them are over at the Rittenhouse Square, a really upscale, kind of think Upper West Side, East Side, New York vibes. So some of them are there, some are right in the middle of the city, but you really can't go wrong any hotel you pick in Philadelphia because they all are great.
Wow, man. Well, next time we got to stop. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I feel like we should just say that you had big fun in Philly. Really.
Yes. Yes.
How long were you there for?
I was actually only there 2 full days. I got in Thursday night. Yes. Can you believe that? Thursday night to Sunday morning.
Oh my gosh. You did a lot.
I was nonstop. I was really nonstop.
And then when you got on the plane, you're like, all right, that's it. I'm out. Sleeping to LA.
Pretty much. I had my Bose headphones on. Yeah. I gelled out. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Mary, I want to say, I remember, first meeting, we actually got to meet you even through IFWTWA and everything in person,
yeah.
when we were in Yuma. And it's just been super cool, chatting with you over the years. And I was just looking like you started your blog back in 2012. And I remember your blog being, pretty much more LA and Southern California focused. And thinking back now, I think the last time you were on, we were talking about Ohio, the treehouse, the Mohican tree houses.
Oh, yeah.
And you've talked about Washington State. You've done a little bit of LA too, but you've really kind of,
Flagstaff,
yeah,
Albuquerque. We've covered a
Flagstaff.
lot.
Yeah,
I think
Flagstaff.
Flagstaff was the last time I was on with Corey.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
yeah, Flagstaff. That's right. Flagstaff. Yeah. Well, I don't know I have bad timing now. Everything's just like a big whirlwind of travel, which is fun. But I mean, that's pretty amazing how much you've expanded. Because I remember you going at the beginning going, yeah, I'm hoping to, start expanding out, and look how much you really have. You've got to be
I
feeling really cool.
know.
11
I
years.
do. Thank
11
you.
years.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yep.
That's
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you so much. Yeah, really, I owe so much of it to IFWTWA because
Yeah.
I'm on this show because of IFWTWA. I got the Philly connection because I was going to be going to Delaware with IFWTWA. So yeah, I can't. You're the same. I know. We're huge supporters of IFWTWA. They're great.
Yeah, no, they're fantastic. And you're a former board member too. So you've been working it. She's been working
it.
She's doing it. Everyone, again, I encourage you to follow Mary on her blog. Go to alongcomesmaryblog.com. We always say there's something special about Mary. It's true. And from there, connect over to her social media. She's on Twitter, Instagram, or is it X? Do we say X or Twitter X?
Oh, yeah, X. I still say Twitter, but it's X technically.
X marks the spot.
I'm more primarily on Instagram. I have X, but I love Instagram.
It kind of feels like now, it sucks because we, really started most of our social media on X. And it's like, oh man. And especially in being in journalists, and things like media did Twitter more than anything else, back in the day. And, now I'm just like, wow, this has kind of changed over a little bit and it's different, but, we're all still not all of us, but a lot of us are still there going, all right, is it still happening? And now there's Threads. Have you done Threads yet?
I do. I'm not too active on it, but I am on there. So if you check out my Instagram, the symbol is there, and I believe it should take anyone interested in following me there right over to Threads. Because yes, I am on there.
Yeah, it's I don't know what to do anymore. There's so much of it now. There's Pinterest, there's, Instagram, there's Twitter, there's Facebook, and I know you're on Facebook as well. But yeah, and Threads, I feel like they should have done a logo like of someone swinging like Tarzan through the trees.
Yes, right. It actually, I feel like when I was looking at it the other day, I mistaked X for Threads. Like something about on my phone, looking at it tiny, they looked alike to me, the logos.
It's the black and white, how they've done it. And it's me too.
Yep.
I keep getting confused. And you see, come on, people.
Yeah.
Just stop it. Just stop it. Let us be. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation and topic, but it's always good to have you on the show and hear your adventures. And Philly sounds absolutely fantastic. So everyone, the website for Philly too is visit Philly.com. So check them out there. And of course, IFWTWA, keep up with them at IFWTWA.org. Everyone's just come back off of their annual conference at sea. I mean, they went on a Princess cruise at Discovery. It's pretty amazing.
That looks fantastic, right?
Yeah. Nice cruise for the conference this year. Last year it was in Florida. They've done it in Santa Fe, Whidbey Island, in Washington State. So, really cool that they're doing these annual conferences. But also keep up with us at bigblendradio.com. We're on air every single day, sometimes a little bit more than daily. And, we always appreciate our listeners. So thank you. Thanks, Mary. You take care and happy travels for your next destination.
Thank you. You guys too. And I'll talk to you next year about Delaware.
Awesome.